Hey everyone, it's me, your girl Regina, coming at you guys with another video. As usual, I've made, 500 attempts on this video, but something always goes wrong. Anyways, Happy New Year, happy start of a brand new decade. I am loving 2020 so far. It is so mentally stimulating. I've been in a good mental space for the last 8 days. And it has been doing wonders. I'm so genuinely happy. And I think it's great to be happy, right? So, today, what I have for you today is a year in review of books. I think I said that I wasn't going to do one, but then I realized I actually did read a lot more before BookTube. You know, BookTube, and I want to share my other books with you. Also, regarding the format, this is something new that I'm trying out. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know if you'd like me to do something like this again. Yeah, cool beans. Before we get to the books, I just want to say, comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you guys think, and as usual, let's get on to it, shall we? Okay, so here's my Goodreads page, already split ahead. Regina Kaur, you know my name. My year 2019 in books. I have read 51 of 50 books. And I'm thrilled. That was my Goodreads challenge. I totally met the challenge. I've read 17,168 pages in a whole year. Oh, just to let you know, I'm not going to be going in depth about all of the books, just a few, because it's a lot of books to get through. Alright, let's get to it, shall we? The shortest book I've read was 32 pages, called Alexander Who's Not, Do You Hear Me, Going to Move. Now, before you start saying, oh, she added this to meet her Goodreads goal, no. I tend to read a lot to the younger kids, so I figured, hey, since I've done the reading once or twice or thrice, however many times, why not add it to my Goodreads account? Next, we have my longest book, which was 597 pages, which is The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. Oh, the 32-page book is by Judith Bjorst. My most popular read was The Lightning Thief by Riordan, which was over 1 million people reading it. I need some water real quick. Oh, yeah. The least popular book was read by 53 people. 20 dark, scary, and sad short stories by A.A. Ray. I DNF'd this book. It was an ebook read. I was like, I wasn't feeling it. Next, we have, of course, my highest rated read on Goodreads, which was again the House of Hades, which garnered. Anyway, yeah, this garnered a 4.55 average, which is pretty good. Yeah, if I say so myself. Again, it's one of the best books that Riordan has written. My first review of the year was The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. And now we'll get to the actual books that I've read in 2019. This is the reason why I decided to do it in this format. Rather than manually putting all the images into the video, saying, look, it's all up on one page, we're going to do it that way. Alright, so first we have Eva Leska Nachiela's The Memory Box. This one is a psychological thriller. Holy moly, one of the coolest and the most mind-blowing books that I've read. It's so beautiful. I loved it. Highly recommend this read. As you can see, I got 5 stars. No, I mean, I gave it 5 stars. The Sun and Her Flowers, as I mentioned, by Rupi Kaur. The Jenny Han trilogy, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever, Laura Jean. First of all, I really like the name Laura Jean. It's so pretty, it's so classic. It was also like a teenage romance kind of thing. I don't really go for romance, as you'll see in my Goodreads. I go for, I guess, mostly fantasy, adult, contemporary. Yeah. Next, as I have mentioned, it is who's not, who's not going to, I always mess up on this title. Alexander, who's not, do you hear me? I mean it, going to move, by Judith Yorst. Is it Julie? Oh, Judith Yorst. Alright. Next we have Autobiography by Christina Lauren. One really significant thing about this book, this was my very first LGBTQ novel that I read in 2019. I figured that as a teacher, I'm going to have students in every walk of life, from every background possible, every sexuality possible, and I would like to have a reading selection where I can give them recommendations so that my students can see themselves in their um, literature. As I mentioned before, 20 dark, scary, and sad short stories by A.A. Ray. Here's a name that you're going to see quite often, Jodi Picoult. She is one of my favorite adult writers. Phenomenal. I love how every single novel that she's had was in every person's point of view. And the little twists at the end were always perfect. By the way, do you hear me? Do not watch the movie My Sister's Keeper. If you have read the book, the movie is a dumpster fire. Oh my god. I cannot stand when authors get very little to no say in their on-screen adaptations. Come on, you guys did the writing. You guys need to stand up for your work of art. Alright, just stop messing around. Especially when you have a cult following of your writing. Thank you, rant over. Small Great Things, phenomenal read. Then we have Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I believe, no, you know what? The movie was okay. The book was better. Mouse 1 and 2 by Art Spiegelman. This is a graphic novel I read while in school, while working actually. You know what? I actually get to read a lot more books while working. This story is about Art Spiegelman's parents who were Holocaust survivors. And they talk about their experiences during Auschwitz. A Land of Permanent Goodbyes by Atia Abali. This book was, I believe, the very beginning of 2019, and I have yet to get it out of my mind. I will say, without unflinching, that this is one of the best books that I've read in 2019. You by Carolyn Kepnes. Season 1 was good. I would say about 95% accurate and faithful to the book. By the way, let's stop idolizing Joe Goldberg, alright? The man's a creep and a psychopath. Nobody should be idolizing him by saying, oh, he has time to murder, maim, and stalk, and yet he still sends you text messages. Enough! Stop! Stop glorifying it. It's creepy and it's annoying. And even the actor himself has said, stop doing that. Ugh. Anyways, Jodie Peacock's Leaving Time. Holy moly, this was a really good book. I loved it. Wow. Bird Box by somebody. Josh Millerman. The book was confusing and weird and what? The movie was terrible. I watched the movie for a direct comparison. I still want those 2 hours of my life back. Cool. Hidden Bodies by Caroline Kepnes, which is season 2 of You. About 85% accurate. The more I think about it, 80% accurate. The book was better. Actually, no. I had mixed feelings about the book because I couldn't tell if it was Katniss's writing style or was it that she was intentionally making the character sloppy. So, I liked it. Season 2, I'm actually surprised by the fact that well, not really, but kind of am. Surprised that the show is getting a third season because there's no third book for it to follow. Next is the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by somebody. Um, Schaffner and Ann Barrows. Okay. This was a DNF. I tried. I really did. It wasn't happening, really. I couldn't keep the voices straight. No. Jodie Peacock, the storyteller, this one needs to be a reread for 2020 because I don't really remember reading it. Or if I have, it probably wasn't memorable. But most of her books are memorable, so I don't know what's this. I cluster duck. This one is really good. This is Hitler, My Neighbor by Eddie Fleischwanger. I read this book because the author was being advertised on Yahoo. He and his family were next door neighbors of Adolf Hitler. His family was Jewish, of course, and any time where Jewish people were in hiding, this family literally hid in plain sight. And when I say next door neighbors, the little 5-year-old was able to see inside of Hitler's house right from his own window. Mind blowing, scary, thrilling, and wow! This author is also a historian. He's written other books on various different topics. Loved it. Next we have is Speak by Lori Halsey Anderson. This was my very first graphic novel of 2019. Next we have Failing Up by Leslie Odom Jr. I picked this up during break at work. And let me tell you, within 5 pages, I knew that I had to have this precious book in my life. Oh no no no! Borrowing the book just wasn't going to cut it. It was going to be I had to own the physical copy. So lo and behold, I have the physical copy on my bookshelf. And next we start the Riordan verse. So these books I read in April. Well, the 5 of them. The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, The Last Olympian, all of the Percy Jackson and the Olympus series. Next, we have The Lost Hero, The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, House of Hades, and The Blood of Olympus. Fun fact, I had a surgery this past July, and it was an outpatient procedure, so I was home within 2 hours of waking up. If you don't know, the sedatives, the the pain medication, and the anesthesia that they give you for a general surgery is overwhelmingly strong. Like I slept for the first 2 or 3 days, even though it was an outpatient procedure. But the times that I was awake, I was reading these books. Let me tell you, this series, they're really really thick. What No, they're over 500 pages. So if I read the first 2 books within right, that's about 1,000 pages right there. All right. So thank you, Riordan, for taking away my pain or making me forget it. Also, I have very little to no memory of what happened in the Senate because I was so high. It was a little funny if I say so myself. But I need to reread the book, obviously. But not right now. Next, we are starting the next trilogy, but I've only read 4 books. Apollo, The Hidden Oracle, Book 1. Then we have The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. This is a soft DNF, mainly because it's a great book, great storyline, 2 timelines. I just saw something else that was shining, and I read that instead, so forgot about this book. I'm gonna find a time to read this book. Macbeth by Shakespeare. Let's throw in a little bit of Shakespeare. Why not? The Face on the Milk Carton. This book came out a couple decades ago. I have mixed feelings about this book. This is a 3-star read. Parts of it were okay. Parts of it was like, what? Made absolutely no sense, but hey. Okay. The author of this is Caroline B. Cooney. Next we have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay by J.K. Rowling. The Dark Prophecy, which is the second book of the Trials of Apollo. The Red Pyramid and the Throne of Fire, which starts the third trilogy. No, this is a trilogy. I have yet to finish the 3rd book. By Riordan, this is the Kane Chronicles. The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapina, amazing book. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Pumpkinhead, which was great, phenomenal, perfect fall read, I'm going to be reading this again in fall, just to introduce fall, Pumpkinheads, by Rainbow Rowell and illustrated by Faith Erin Hicks. Drifter by Christine Lennon. This was a recommendation. Well, not really a recommendation, but a book that was on someone else's TBR. And I thought, hey, cool. Cool beans. Set in Gainesville, Florida, I believe. Gainesville, Jacksonville area. It's in Florida. Two timelines, but the same character in both timelines. Part of it has to do with her sorority days. For me, college ended 2 years ago, and the one thing that I could care less about is Greek life. It's just not my cup of tea or coffee. Next, we are coming up to the worst book of 2019. Let's get that out of the way. This is probably my absolute worst read of 2019. Still boils my blood. I am angered and vilified at the fact that this is gracing my 2019 Goodreads page by Stacey Claflin. Yes, I still feel a type of way about this book. Next we have The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. The Light Over London by somebody. Julia Kelly. Okay, this was a DNF, and it's really weird because it doesn't make sense why I would DNF it, because I love historical fiction, as you've seen. I like the area that it was portraying, which was World War II. And it had dual timelines, which I thought was great. The thing that I didn't like about it was just I wasn't vibing with the characters. Just the storyline was, eh. Yeah, this was a pass. Then we have the third book of the Trials of Apollo, which was the Burning Maze. Then we have the Tyrants 2. Again by Riordan, both of them. The Crown of Oblivion by Julie Espa, and The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. Probably the most forgettable book I've ever seen in my life. So, a few months, no, about a week or so after my graduation, no, not even a week, a few days after my graduation, my brother was graduating in Buffalo. My mom, you know what, I was walking around in Buffalo with someone, and I noticed this book on someone's trash can. Yes, I'm one of those people who will take a book from somebody. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I go dumpster diving for books. Not really. So, salvaged the book. Okay, let it dry out. Forgot that I had it. Borrowed it from the library. I read about 5 chapters, and it was so similar. And I mean, to the point that I was getting irritated, to The Girl on the Train, which I read in 2018. That one was either 2017 or 2018. That was a good book. Did not like The Woman in Cabin 10. Then we have The Voices of Chernobyl by Svetlana Alexievich. This is a soft DNF because I just did not have the mental capacity or the mentality, not really mentality, but the time to read a really powerful book as this. Again, you're going to be seeing this on my 2020 reading challenge in 2021. So we'll see. My last review of the year was, of course, the Chernobyl Diary, the Voices of Chernobyl. Disaster. Pretty good read. Let's see, what else? Feel like I'm missing a book. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely missing the first book, which was, To All the Boys I've Loved. Um, yeah. Alright, cool beans. I am going to see you guys later. I hope you guys are having a wonderful new year. And sound off in the comments. Which books have you read? Are you surprised by any of my reading choices? What books would you recommend for me to read? Alright, I will see you guys very soon. I have another video coming up as soon as this one goes live. Alright, bye bye!